It's not bad for the body to get stressed. It's terrible for the body to stay stressed. If you want to look at this more spiritually, I would define stress as the space between where you are and where you think you should be.
Born in 92 on the block with the sharks. Come from a different cloth, y'all would get ripped apart. You want it diamond, then you gotta get it in the dark. We dropping nuggets like Carmelo with the Rucker Park. Now we eating from state to state, we scrape the plate. I put my eggs in a basket, took a leap of faith. I took a chance, now we grow and see the impact. Decoding Success with special guests, now let's bring Matt.
I am so ready. Like, you just got me so amped up.
So it is, and so it is, and so it is.
When did you start doing that? Because the last time I think we were together, I mean, it was virtual. This is our first time meeting in person. But I think that was in like 2019.
Yeah, I became a way witchier human in 2020.
What makes you witchy?
Well, witch actually means wise woman. And it's someone who works with elements to create alchemy or
I would have never
magic.
known that.
I know, because that term has been really, really demonized.
That's so interesting.
Millions of women murdered. It wasn't just like a cute 100. It was millions of women, like the ancestral lineage, like all of that wisdom, the way they worked with the plants, with the earth, with the energies, and not only for what the threats that they posed to society, but also because many of them were landowners. And, single women without children, the landowners were a big threat to the church.
Yeah.
So anyway, in 2020, I had been teaching meditation at this point for maybe 15 years, and then had another really beautiful awakening, this time through the body. And since then, I've really been dedicated to seeing how we can bring the frequency of heaven to earth through the body.
I love that.
It's a very feminine way to spirituality. It's actually what's taught in the Gnostic Gospels.
Yeah.
Versus the masculine way is beautiful, but it's more about ascension, transcending, like going up to God, which there's beauty there.
Yeah.
And it's not about the masculine or the feminine. I actually think that it's about the union of the two. And not necessarily in male, female externally, but in the masculine and feminine inside of ourselves.
I love that. I really like that you embrace like the witchy stuff. I'll give you something similar for me personally. I had like a nudge for years that was like, be a priest, be a priest, be a priest. And like, I always associated priesthood with like the guy that's up at the altar in Roman Catholic Church or wherever, right? And then I had my soul read by this woman, Sonia Choquette.
I love her.
She's the best.
I love her. She was on
best.
stage right before me in 2015, the first talk I ever gave at Mind Valley. She was on stage before me, and I remember being in the audience and thinking, honestly, she was a little woo.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this woman's really witchy. She's really weird. Now I'm just like, I have her deck. She has this beautiful oracle deck called Ask Your Guides, and it's been such a help to me. So shout out to Sonia Choquette.
It's so amazing. Yeah, no, it's great. I discovered her after a Christmas party. I was working with one of the sharks from Shark Tank, and
which one?
Damon.
Cool.
I'm in the back of an Uber with a coworker, and we're just like so drunk. I'm like mid-20s, and he's like, my dad just had his soul read, and I'm thinking about doing the same thing. And I'm like, dude, like, we're just going to the next party. Like, let's just focus on
keep it light.
Yeah. So long story short, something came over me during 2020. It's like, have your soul read. And there was a message she delivered that was like, essentially along the lines of, you're looking at being a priest in the wrong way. You're associating it too much with like a religion versus like the actual definition of what a priest is.
And how did she define that for you? How do you define it now?
So I defined it with a coach after that. She kind of just like delivered that message, and it was like, go find what the actual definition is. And it's more so along the lines of what you said, like a wise teacher.
Yeah. And I would say I actually identify more as a priestess than a witch. And that term can be, I get it that there's like a lot of people on Instagram calling themselves priestesses, and I'm sure people make fun of me for saying that, but if you look at history, then there was actually thousands and thousands of years where these women were doing ceremony, where they were offering medicine, they were helping people to awaken their own internal alchemy, to help people to birth, to help people to die, to help people with sickness, and actually helping to counsel many of the leaders, generals, kings, and specifically, I'm taking a pilgrimage, I'm taking a group of people to Greece in April.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, and it's based on a priestess pilgrimage that I did 2 years ago with my best friend Layla, and we're going to be going to Athens and Eleusis and Delphi. But in Eleusis specifically, this is where the priestesses were. They had something called the Eleusinian Mysteries, and they were doing ceremony for Euripides and Plato and Aristotle, and basically birthed Western civilization as we know it, theater, democracy, and many components of Catholicism and Christianity that we associate now were born out of the Eleusinian mysteries. The UN has just named Eleusis the cultural capital of Europe.
Yeah.
And we're also going to Delphi, which is where the oracles were also counseling the kings. And I think if you look at what's going on the planet right now, you know, especially in this particular moment, we're seeing these systems crumbling before our eyes. The systems that have been built on unsustainable foundations are crumbling in real time.
Yeah.
And I think that much of that is due to the lack of feminine counsel, that we just have this like outrageous, hyper masculine, patriarchal that sometimes can lead to an abuse of power.
Yeah.
Right? It's not the male, it's not the masculine, it is the unbalanced masculine.
The lack
and it
of
is
balance.
the patriarchy that can lead to a balance of power or a misuse of power. I actually just did an amazing Tantra training last week with this living master named Ma Ananda Sarita.
I give you credit for remembering that name.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
she's 73 years old. It was the first
God
time
bless.
she's ever taught in the United States.
Yeah.
And she said that anywhere, like if you look at India, they always have the Shiva Lingam, which is the masculine and the feminine. It's a very famous statue around. People go on pilgrimages to see the statues.
Yeah.
But it represents a balance of masculine and feminine. And if you look at Washington, D.C., it's a giant phallus. It's just the Washington Monument. It's this obelisk with no feminine around it. So it's not about the masculine being bad. It's just that we've forgotten that the magic
balance
happens in the balance.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting to go down this path.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad we did.
We can kick it back to stress
is like
and meditation.
So organic. I absolutely love it. Seriously.
You never even heard the question. What was the question from the meditation?
Oh, when I was doing the meditation. Okay, so I actually wrote it down. I was like, I don't want to lose this, and I do apologize. I made a very rookie mistake, and I did not turn off my phone.
don't think
So
anyone even heard it.
I am going to go airplane mode before that happens again. This is what happens. You go 400 episodes, and it's like,
Congratulations.
boom, you make a little rookie mistake. So it is what it is. But so I was doing this meditation, and by the way, I felt incredible. Like, I'm not just saying that because you're sitting in front of me. Like, I literally felt so good. It was probably about like the 12-minute mark of this when you asked the question and you were like, ask yourself. And by the way, I should preface, you also said you don't need to have like an answer to this, right? I think that was part of it. Like, hey, don't feel like you need to answer it. Just like let it plant in your mind.
Yeah.
The question was, why do I get so stressed to begin with? And it was hard for me not to answer that. And the first thing, like the minute you said with, I was like, because I care. So my question to you then is like, if we care so much about a particular thing, a podcast or a venture or a person, whatever it is, like, why does stress associate itself with care?
It's a really beautiful question, and I love that you care so much. And I think it speaks back to your priest nature, that there is part of your dharma.
Yeah.
There's part of your dharmic imperative of why you incarnated in this lifetime is to help people. So there is this beautiful positive impulse of the inspiration to help, the inspiration to create. And where the mastery comes into play is discerning what is actually my dharmic imperative and coming from an impulse of sending love and healing, and what is being inspired by fear and a fear of failing. And what one of my teachers shared is that the way to tell the difference between a thought that is a cognition, now cognition basically being a download from collective intelligence itself, or a stress release thought, is basically if I follow that thought all the way down the track, does it end with the reality that there's only one thing and we're all it? Or does it end in the reality of separation?
Interesting.
And so there's, I've been studying the Vedas for like 18 years now, and the Vedas is a collection of knowledge from northern India, and the foundational principle of the Vedas is that there's only one thing. We are all it, and that one thing is consciousness. And so if you extrapolate that back to the podcast, right, of like, why do I care so much? I'm feeling so stressed about this. If there's only one thing and we're all it, then I'm helping other people really because I want to help myself. And so if I get really stressed out and I create the chemical cocktail of cortisol and adrenaline inside of my body, that I'm actually creating suffering for myself right now. And then I am incapable of helping anyone else because I am now in a state of suffering. And that's happening because I think that somehow I can mess it up.
Yeah.
And I can only mess it up if there is separation, if there is lack, if there is scarcity. But if there's only one thing and we're all it, and that one thing is consciousness, AKA love, then there's really no way to mess it up.
I love that. just like,
but it doesn't mean just like
Yeah.
get high and sit on the couch and watch video games.
Yeah,
It's not an excuse to not take action, but we take action from the place of impulse, from the place of inspiration, from the place of safety, from the place of knowing that we actually can't fuck it up.
Yeah. So in short, if we were to digest this, it's like you might feel stressed because you care, but that's coming from a place of fear. Did I hear that? Am I interpreting that accurately?
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful simplification.
Like if we were just simplifying that.
But I think what would be even more helpful is if we go back and define what is stress.
Okay.
So I would define, stress is obviously a chemical reaction that happens in our body.
Yeah.
It's linked back to a fight or flight stress response, which happens as a bioevolutionary or evolutionary imperative to protect us from saber-toothed tigers. So in the body, body floods with cortisol, adrenaline, heart rate increases, immune system drops, fertility lowers, all of this side effect, which is not great for the body long term. It's not bad for the body to get stressed. It's terrible for the body to stay stressed. It's that chronic low-grade stress that's killing most people in the West. However, if you want to look at this more spiritually, I would define stress as the space between where you are and where you think you should be. Stress is the space between where you are and where you think you should be.
That was another part of the meditation. I think one of the other questions that really stuck with me is like something along the lines of like you being where you're supposed to be. I forget the exact question, but it was so good. Yeah. It was like one of the first or second questions that you asked, and I was like, fuck, that's like such a good reminder. And
the beautiful part is that if we can, so a line from the Vedas is that the present moment is the future in the making. So if we're very stressed right now, we are planting stress seeds for the future. Conversely, if we are filled with bliss right now, we are planting blissy seeds for the future. If we are very filled with pleasure and joy, we are planting pleasurable and joyful seeds for the future. So the game is always here. It's always now.
It leads me to ask you, is there a difference? I'm not a scientist by any stretch of the means, but just like hearing what you're saying, this is coming up for me. Is there a difference between a stressed mindset and a stressed body?
Yes.
There is. Okay. Okay. That's coming up because there are times, and I don't want to say I'm guilty of it, but I experience it, where like I don't feel stressed, but I think stressed. Does that make sense? Yeah. Am I like, right? Am I onto something there?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is you can't disconnect your brain from your body. It's only one system. There's only one nervous system, and really, just the difference is time. So it's like by the time you have a stressy thought, how many seconds or minutes does it take for you to have the body of stress? So someone tiger comes into this room. Guy with a gun comes in the room right now. We would launch appropriately into a fight or flight stress reaction. So it's like the thought of stress. I'm in danger. Body's going to go into that stress response. Within 30 to 45 seconds, you will have the blood of stress. Within 5 to 10 minutes, you will have the marrow of stress. So it just goes from thought into blood into marrow, but the marrow is the most viscous fluid in the body. However, the trick is that every single thing that's happened, every time you've ever gone into a fight or flight stress reaction, since the time you were born, including your birth and including everything that happened to you in utero, has been imprinted into your nervous system. It's in your body. And that's the part that people don't like to acknowledge. And the tricky thing is that it's now we know that it's at least 2 generations back. The indigenous folks would say 7 generations back, but we've proven 2. So your parents and your grandparents were in the Holocaust, your grandparents were enslaved people. That's in your blood memory. That is in your DNA. That is in your epigenetics. And so they call us chain breakers, right? Those of us that have had the luxury, and I will call it a luxury and a privilege, that we're not having to go hunt our food, that we have the time to listen to podcasts and take meditation trainings and go do somatic therapy and go do tapping and breath work and do ketamine with aliens and ice plunges or whatever people are doing these days.
A little bit of everything.
Like whatever your way to God is, it is a privilege. And so it's like, how are we using that privilege? And like, yes, it's good for us. Yes, we're going to have more joy, more pleasure, more bliss for ourselves. But we also get to unwind that down the bloodline backwards and forwards. And so while it might seem like, oh, I don't have time to meditate, it's like, okay, well, cool. If you don't, then you are going to continue to proliferate the mind and the body of stress. And then you're going to be planting stressy seeds for your future and for your children's future and then for their children's future. And also, guess what? If you stop and unwind this right now, if you break the chain right now, you can actually help your mom and your grandma and your great grandma, and not like. And I'm sure that people listening have probably had this happen. I don't know if it's ever happened to you, where it's like you have some quantum shift in reality, and then you notice that like, oh, my dad's different now, or like my mom is different now. And part of it is, yes, you're changing the lens through which you're seeing reality.
Okay, yep.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
But there's also another part of it that I don't even know has been scientifically proven. Well, part of it has. The thing that we know is that we actually do impact the bloodline 2 generations back, and we know that we're carrying stress in our bodies from at least 2 generations back. But I think in a little bit more like woo terms, I think on the spiritual plane, you can actually heal.
I would have never thought of it going backwards, right? Because one of my questions that I wanted to ask, right, like just really diving in and researching your background. I know that like, I think your mom was like 1 of 10. Your grandmother, I think you mentioned like she was like cotton picking on like a slave encampment or something. So like there's stress there for sure. And like one of the questions I wanted to ask, which you just answered, was like, does stress get passed down from person to person? I think about it in my life. Like my grandparents came here from Europe. Like I don't know what they endured. Right? Like I can't even imagine what that's like. And then starting fresh in a new country, like with nothing, that's insane to even think about. Never once did I think that if we are the people that stop that cycle, it helps them.
Well, think about it. Like, why do you think they worked so hard? Why do you think your grandparents came here? Like, yes, they wanted a better life for themselves, but likely they wanted a better life for your parents and for you. So if you are actually ascending in consciousness, then you are fulfilling the wish or the desire that they had when they did it. And that's just from the mind. But if you go into more of the spiritual plane, because like once we leave our bodies, we're dealing with time in a very different way. Right? Like time is very much a function of consciousness, and you can speed up or slow down time even in the body, right? Like have a bunch of caffeine versus have a bunch of whiskey. See how your relationship with time changes. That's changing because you're changing your state of consciousness, right? So imagine how much we could change it once we're not in these bodies anymore. Like then the time thing gets really amorphous. And that's what also happens when you meditate, is that you move beyond the realm of thinking. So you move beyond the realm of time. So I think you absolutely can heal in generations forwards and backwards.
That is so freaking powerful. A lot of the people that listen to this show are what we like to call like high-performing millennials, right? Like just like...
So we should maybe dial back on the woo a little bit.
No, we're good. We're totally good there. But the question I have is like, stress is oftentimes associated as like the price of success. Why is that the wrong way to look at success, or even stress in this case? Again,
it's not about not getting stressed. It's the staying stress that is so harmful for us. And I get that there's seasons and phases of life. And I would be lying if I told you that I have built everything I've built without ever working long days or getting stressed. Like I do, I get stressed. I'm a single mom of a 7-year-old boy. I am a CEO of a multi-seven-figure
company. That's not stressful at all, huh?
Like, well, but the thing is, like, if we get specific with our language, stress is your reaction to an event. Stress is not the event. Right? Stress is your reaction to the event. It's not the event itself. So being a single mom and running a 7-figure company is not inherently stressful. It is inherently high demand. Right? Like my son demands 100% of my focus and attention when we are together. My company, my team demands 100% of my attention and focus when I am with them. My mission, my dharma, it demands a lot of my energy and attention. And so the difference is, and I want to be really linguistically powerful, and I want to offer this as a gift to everyone listening. Instead of just saying like, God, my job is so stressful. My kids are so stressful. New York City is so stressful. What if instead you start to say like, wow, my job right now is very high demand. And what you're doing is that you're then liberating yourself to have the option of how you choose to respond to that demand. And guess what gives you the option? Meditation. Because if your body is stuck in a chronic fight or flight stress reaction, then you actually don't have a choice. You are rendered choiceless. We have two options: fight or flee. Or freeze or fawn, right? But like whatever the new science is on stress reaction, it's not a lot of options. Because your physiology, your biology is choosing for you, because you have not taken the time to get out of fight or flight and into what I call stay and play. So the more you're doing meditation, the more you're eating healthy foods, the more you're having beautiful, loving sex, the more you're connecting with the earth and having sunshine in your eyes, like everything you do to build up your reservoirs of consciousness, to build up your reservoirs of energy, what I call adaptation energy, you're then affording yourself the option of choosing how you want to respond to the demand.
I love that.
But the situation is no longer inherently stressful. For example, put me into like a air traffic control tower. I would probably go into a fight or flight stress reaction very quickly.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to do that and people's lives are on the line. Put that air traffic control operator on a Broadway stage on a Tuesday night, they would probably go into a pretty intense fight or flight stress reaction. That's just a Tuesday for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the situation is not inherently stressful. It is how we respond to it is where the stress happens. And the way we can move into mastery is what are we doing with our nervous systems? How are we preparing ourselves to go into the high demand day?
Yeah.
And from that place, you then have more creativity available. You have more presence available. You have more spirit available. And it's also, I think, to bring it back to our original point, it's a bit of a byproduct of approaching productivity and success from a very like up and to the right, very linear. We can only ascend. We can only succeed. We can only accumulate. We can only progress, which is very masculine. It's very linear. Versus the feminine is circular. The feminine is cyclical. The feminine is seasonal. There's a time for spring, there's a time for summer, and there's a time for fall and a time for winter. There's a time to rest, there's a time to compost, there's a time to digest and to learn. There's a time to build and celebrate. And then we harvest and we rest.
Yeah.
And that is what is missing right now. The feminine's job is to say enough. And not just like we have enough, but also fucking enough. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop extracting from the land. Stop extracting from children. Stop extracting from the feminine. Source from yourself. Plug yourself into God. Enough.
Yeah.
And that is what I think we really need on the planet right now. But if we continue to devalue the feminine and also demonize the feminine and then extract from the feminine without bringing it into an equal balance of power, then we're going to continue to see more of what is happening right now on the planet.
How does, like, if there's a gentleman that's watching this right now and he's hearing masculine, he's hearing feminine, and he's like, wait, like, I'm just masculine, right? How does a gentleman that's watching this or listening to this right now start to adopt that cyclical, that cycle of life, which that resonates so much with me. I mean, I never want to experience the winters, but I do understand they're a part of life, right? How do we as men start to accept that, adapt to that, etc.?
Such a good question. And I get that it's really challenging because I know that for two reasons. That one, we've all, men and women alike, have been disconnected from our own feminine nature. And we've also been taught to think that it's weak and that it's lazy and that it's a waste of time and that it's even dangerous. So it's a reclamation. And it takes work and bravery to reclaim the feminine, especially as a man, right? And yet we all do have masculine and feminine elements to us. So like step one, it's like decoupling masculine and feminine from male and female. And knowing that even down to the cellular level, every cell you have has masculine and feminine elements to it, right? That there's like the membrane of the cell, which is the container, and then there's the oozing, unctuous, like alive fluid inside that is the feminine. And even down in the atoms, right? You have like the matrix, and then you have like 99.999%, which is pure space and energy. And so uncoupling it from like penis and vagina, like masculine and feminine in every single cell, atom, tree, flower, car, idea, company, that it is naturally balanced in every part of nature. And then looking at that inside of ourselves, like when is it time to be very directional, and when is it time to be discerning and listening, right? Like the masculine is directional and the feminine is discerning. And actually this is a little embarrassing to admit, but true. So last week when I did this amazing like sacred sexuality and tantra training with this living master, I experienced like a new level of feminine magnetism that I have never viscerally experienced before. I understood it intellectually. That like the egg magnetizes, right? The sperm swims. And then the egg magnetizes and discerns. And also if you think about it like almost let's say the Big Bang is masculine, but the black hole is feminine. And we need both, right?
Yeah.
Like the universe is just undulating between these multi-billion years cycle of the explosion and the expansion, and then the contraction and going back into the black hole. So every single phase and cycle of nature is doing both the masculine and the feminine.
Yeah.
And so if you tune into your own feminine, even as a man, and be like, where is this like black hole energy inside of me? Where is this void energy inside of me that I can actually tune into, turn on, and magnetize? The money, the people, the opportunities, versus just constantly hustling, grinding, grinding. Because it's just not sustainable regardless of your gender.
It never is. No. It never, ever is. I think that's something that a lot of the people that are in our community experience. Like they just had this pain that they really leveraged in a way that propelled them to quote unquote success. And then that fuel source ran out. And it's just like, now they're in this place of just like grind, and it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. It's burnout.
There you go.
And the burnout is the invitation into the fallow of winter. Right? The burnout, while it's not pleasurable, and I would much prefer that people start meditating beforehand and creating, because even meditation is you moving into the void. Like the style of meditation that I teach at Ziva is allowing your brain to de-excite. It's allowing your entire body to de-excite and allowing your mind to move into the unmanifest.
I like that.
You're moving into the fertile soil, into the realm of infinite potentiality. Right? So if you think about it, if I'm just on one track, creating, then you're actually missing the infinite potentiality of the unmanifest.
I love the word, you using that term like de-excite. What if you were talking to someone that's addicted to the excitement of life? Where it's like they always have to create, they can't just like be in the season of like nothing new happening.
Yeah.
What would you say to that person if you were sitting across from them and it's like you're telling them to de-excite, or the style of meditation is to help them de-excite, but they're just so addicted to the excitement?
Yeah. So I built a whole empire on this. Like that's exactly what I did. I was like, hey, this meditation thing, if you do it, you're going to make more money and have better sex. So I'm not here to proselytize. I'm here to meet people where they are.
Yeah.
And so I can't make someone, if a 24-year-old dude who wants to be a billionaire is not going to give a flying fuck about me telling them about the fallow in the winter. They're just not.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, hey, bro, there's this thing that you could do for 15 minutes twice a day that is going to increase your sex drive. It is going to make you more magnetic. You are going to make more money. You're going to have more fun. You're not going to get sick as often. And also you're going to be just like a better time for your friends.
Yeah.
Like that is what I would say. And that is also true.
Yeah.
And I don't actually care why people start meditating. I just care that they start. And then here's the good news. If that 23-year-old guy starts meditating now, he's going to very much decrease his chances of nature rendering him choiceless and putting him into full-blown burnout or accident or breakdown or mental health crisis, which so many people are facing.
Yeah.
Because he will have been slowing down and tapping into that unmanifest, tapping into that fertile void every day, twice a day. And then over time, whether he wants it or not, there will start to be this spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
There will start to be more of an identification with that which cannot be named than identification with just the ego and just the body. And as that over time starts to grow, nature can start to use you as a vessel to deliver fulfillment. It can start to use you as a conduit to bring the frequency of heaven here to earth.
Why do we need to be in a state of like de-excitement for you to be used as a vessel?
Well, because if you don't move beyond the realm of thinking and access pure source, then you only have the option of taking action from your own ego.
From yourself.
And that's where the stress lives. That's where the fear lives. That's where the illusion of separation lives.
Yeah.
So you have to transcend that in order to be able to hear your dharmic imperative. And what people don't get, and the cosmic joke of it all, is that if you just slow down and listen, nature's like, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the guide. I'm giving you the GPS. But it doesn't actually yell. That's me. She's whispering. That's my quintuple Aries. She's whispering.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, turn left.
Yeah.
Start that company. Call that girl.
Yeah.
Call that baby.
Why does it whisper though? Like, why can't it speak a little louder?
Well, I don't actually know that it's whispering. I think what's happening is that nature has played a really amazing trick and made the five senses stimulation of this 3D reality just one click more enticing than the unmanifest.
Yeah.
At least in most of our phases of life. That might change, I think, when we're like in our 80s and 90s. Like when we start to go back towards the grave, I think that the unmanifest might start to get a little bit louder. You know, people right before they die, they start to see their relatives, and you know, the veil gets thin.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's like because I haven't been there yet. But there's a really amazing book that was written by the man who trained me as a meditation teacher. His name is Will Dalton, and it's a children's book. And it's called A Little Story About the Greatest Thing That Ever Happened. And it's basically the entirety of the Vedas, which he encapsulated into a children's book. And the thing is that he says that when we get to Earth, that nature has sent down this whole love army. And the love army is here to remind everyone that we're all love, that there's only one thing and that we're all it, and that our job is to spread love. And that the trick is that when you go, you're going to forget that you're part of the love army, because all of the smells and tastes and delights are going to be so beautiful, so entrancing that you're going to forget. And so the game is, how do we remember? And this is what I love about the Vedas, is that if I had to encapsulate the Vedas into one sentence, it would be this: that the one became two for the joy of becoming one again. So it's like in totality became individuality for the joy of remembering that it is also totality. It's like the wave is, the ocean is pretending that is the wave, not because there's anything wrong with being a wave, but because it's like a cosmic hide and seek. It's really fun to remember that you're also God.
I'm sitting here, I'm just like, there's a sense of amazement to like hear this type of stuff. A part of me wants to talk about that last statement, just like, you are God. How does someone make sure that they don't take that and run with it in a negative way?
Great question. 'Cause here's the news. If you're God,
so are
so
you.
is everyone else.
Yeah.
So you're very special, and you're not special at all. So there's no ego in it. That's only egoic, and it's only dangerous if you think of God as some all-powerful, judgmental guy who's judging you for masturbating with a beard, who's going to send you to hell or heaven, right? It's Santa Claus, right? Like, it's so outrageously oversimplified that we've turned God into Santa Claus. Like, I won't let my son read the Elf on the Shelf book, because I was like, this is basically capitalism in masquerading as like some weird, like, patriarchal religion where there's like a dude judging you if you're naughty or nice, and if you're nice, you get more stuff. And if you're naughty, you don't get stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. We've taken this like beautiful, beautiful transmission that Yeshua himself, that Christ himself was a living embodiment of. And we've turned it into Santa Claus, and it's very confusing to me. And so I've recently been studying the Gnostic Gospels and the Magdalene manuscripts, and
Mary Magdalene,
who was a priestess,
I studied theology I'll tell you the story. I got kicked out of like a seminary school my freshman year.
Okay, why? For what? I hope it was fun.
It was like a fraternity 4 years early. It was like a high school. My parents wanted me to go to an all-boys school.
So like a high school?
A high school in Queens.
Seminary high school,
essentially to become a priest, which is funny because of what I just said before, right? But I studied theology, which is why I had asked that question. So that's cool that you're like diving into that stuff.
Yeah. And the thing is that I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a million paths to the divine. And the thing that's tricky about Christianity is just that it's a half truth of what we've been given access to in the West. And I believe that a half truth is a lie. And so the feminine has been not only removed, but violently removed from Western and modern Christianity. And so I've spent a lot of time over the last many years studying, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Anna, who is the grandmother of Jesus, and also the Gnostic Gospels, which were, by the way, buried in Egypt. They were torn out, removed, and buried underground in Egypt. And guess what they all have in common? It was also Plato's The Republic. Might have to fact check me on that.
Okay.
But there was another Grecian thing that was buried. And what most of those gospels have in common is that you can access the divine through your own body. Especially Mary Magdalene, who, by the way, was a priestess of the Isis lineage, Isis being the Egyptian goddess of motherhood and fertility and magic and sex. And so anything that was like, oh, you can access the divine on your own, you actually have a sovereign path to wake up your own divinity inside of your own body, the Catholic Church just went ahead and buried that underground, like etched out the tablets of the Gnostic Gospels, and specifically Mary Magdalene. And then they're like, oh, and also we shouldn't really have women in positions of spiritual leadership. And so again, it's like, wait, half of the species shouldn't be spiritual leaders? What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And so then, and I really think if we ask why were millions of women burned at the stake? Why has the feminine been removed? Why do we not want people to access their divinity through their body? The answer just comes back to control. Yeah. Right? Because people who remember how creative and how powerful they are, people who know that they can access the divine through themselves, they don't have to go through an organization or someone else, are very hard to control.
Hey everyone, pausing this episode to share something with you. In a world of hyper competitiveness, I think the best quote that I can share with you is that there is no one in the world youer than you, and that is truer than true, which is exactly why I wanted to share with you today about Brand Builders Group. It's an organization I've been working with over the last few months. It is absolutely incredible, and today I am sharing with you the opportunity to hop on a free brand call with a brand strategist to help you break through the wall of obscurity. We are in a hyper competitive space at the moment, whether it be on social or with your podcast or with your blog or with your books or getting on stage. No matter what your endeavor is, this is an opportunity for you to hop on a free strategy call with someone from the team to be able to help you navigate the waters of making sure that you are breaking through the wall and taking advantage of all of the opportunities that you most definitely deserve. Again, there is no one in the world youer than you. So no matter what the problem is that you solve, there might be other people that are out there that also solve the same problem, but there is a strategy that can be placed into your initiatives that will help you break through that wall with speed. So I want to share this with you. It is freebrandcall.com/Matt Labrie. That is going to be in the show notes of this episode, whether you're tuned in from audio or through YouTube, whatever it is, freebrandcall.com/Matt Labrie. That's exactly what it is. Control. Yeah. Control. I just lost my question, but it's going to come back to me. In the interim, if I knew what Emily knows, how would my life be different? Hypothetically.
You personally or humans in general?
The people watching, people listening.
Well, I mean, my life is pretty great.
Yeah.
Like I wake up every morning and the first thought I think is like, are you kidding me? Like, I get to have this body. Yeah. Like I start like undulating in gratitude and pleasure and just being like thank you. Thank you for the snow. Thank you for the light on the snow. Thank you for my face. Thank you for my son.
If you're saying thank you for the snow, you're in a different place.
I also live in Westchester. Like I live in Katona. Yeah. So it's not like in New York City, I'm a little less thankful for the snow.
I'm glad you're still able to admit that.
It's true. Like, the dirt and the puddles and the like smaller sidewalks. It's
not fun.
It's harder to be grateful for the snow in New York City than it is. Like when I wake up, it's just a white, beautiful wonderland of blanketed beauty. But what I know now is that the more enthusiastically grateful I am for what I have, that is the pathway to enthusiastic gratitude for what is on the way. I also know that the more bliss and pleasure I can saturate my nervous system in right now, the higher quality seeds I am planting for the future. And I'll give you an example of this. I have this dream, mission, dharma idea. I want to do large scale activations at sacred sites around the planet. So I've started leading these pilgrimages. I did one in Egypt last October. I'm taking a group to Greece in April. And the first one I want to do is 13,000 people at the pyramids in Egypt. And basically like utilize these beautiful antennae as a way to amplify the prayers and as a way to connect the celestial and the terrestrial.
This is so random. Why do I feel like there's different antenna sites around the world? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes. So there's last year, according
how many
to Robert
are there?
Edward Grant, we discovered 600 new pyramids in 2025.
Okay.
And it's just in Kentucky last week, they discovered a new pyramid
Really?
system. Yeah.
See, I've heard of this stuff before, but I don't remember where I heard it.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah.
What's happening right now, from my POV, is that a lot of these ancient mysteries, a lot of these ancient technologies that we've forgotten are coming back online because they will be necessary to birth what is coming on the other side of this wave of destruction. Like we're seeing, AI is going to speed things up in ways that we can't even conceptualize right now. We're seeing systems that have been built on unsustainable foundations crumbling in our, in real time.
Yeah.
So for me, what I'm interested in is how do we put our attention on what's coming next? How do we get people into a state of consciousness to where we can just build a new system versus fighting, bemoaning, and freaking out about the destruction of this one?
Yeah.
I call it the Reese Witherspoon plan.
The Reese Witherspoon plan.
So like Reese Witherspoon, as a 50-something-year-old actress, basically created one of the most profitable multi-billion-dollar production companies, and she did not do it by fighting the current Hollywood system. She wasn't like, you guys need to put women over 50 in your movies.
Yeah.
She just went ahead and started a book club, made a production company, started making blockbuster hits on TV and film, and then writing stories about having movies directed by and featuring women.
Is she producing the morning show?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's through her.
Wow.
Yeah, Hello Sunshine. It's the name of her
Hello
company.
Sunshine.
Hello Sunshine. And so for me, it's just, I'm using it a little bit, not to be flip. Props. Like she's done an extraordinary job. But what she did was architect an entirely new system versus going in and trying to tear anything down. And that's what the feminine does.
Yeah.
It births into the new, informed from the wisdom of what is. And so I want to do that with civilization. Like, let's not like go in and burn it all down. Let's just architect the new civilization based on the ancient wisdom that is hiding in plain sight.
I love that.
So that's what happens when you go to these temples. Your body remembers. And not to get too woo here, but we still, in 2026, do not understand, we do not have the scientific or technological evidence of how the pyramids were built. If we wanted to build those today, in 2026, we couldn't do it as a species.
Yeah.
So there's a real question mark there. Was it aliens?
It's a big question mark that's right in front of us all the time.
I believe it was a state of consciousness that we were in, and that what is required to access that state of consciousness is very simple. It is connection, collaboration, and coherence. And that is why I'm interested in these large-scale activations at the pyramids, because those are not impossible skills. Those are not hidden. We can access those right here, right now, for free.
But why don't we access them? Like connection. Why are we not connected?
Well,
is it hate? Is it like...
I think it's fear. I think it's suffering. I think it's stress. And I think it's addiction. And we're now addicted to our phones. Why are we addicted to our phones? Well, I got to get the next dopamine hit. So what's the antidote to all of that, right? It's back in the body, back in the now. Can I heal my dopamine addiction by creating more dopamine internally than I'm getting from my phone?
Interesting.
Can I heal my porn addiction by creating more pleasure in my own body than I'm getting from porn? Can I heal my alcohol addiction by getting more stress relief with my internal pharmacy than I'm getting from alcohol? So it always comes back to the internal pharmacy, which we can access through these ancient technologies like meditation, like tantra, like pleasure.
Yeah.
So we have everything we need, and we have it inside of our bodies. So the good news is that we don't even have to really build we will eventually have to build new infrastructures, but I think that they will be built from, first, raising the state of consciousness.
Yeah. It almost sounds like when you talk about like getting reconnected, we kind of have to disconnect first.
From what?
I mean, this, right?
Phones.
The porn, the bottle, or...
Yeah. But so here's the beautiful thing about Ziva Meditation, and not to make this like a huge product plug, but I have dedicated my life for the past 18 years to giving people this particular style of meditation and I've done basically every self-help training you could imagine. I've been in this game for a long time, and I've studied with the best of the best of the best. If you were to put me on a desert island and give me one wellness tool to take, it would be Ziva Meditation.
Really?
Because it is the single most effective stress relieving tool, and it up levels your dopamine and your serotonin internally, which the thing I've seen is that you don't even have to break the addiction of your phone and porn and alcohol and biting your nails. You just have to put in the habit of meditation. And once you start waking up your own internal pharmacy, you actually just don't want to bite your nails anymore. You actually just don't. It becomes a little less attractive, the phone. It becomes a little less attractive, all of the things that you're doing to regulate externally, because you're starting by regulating internally. Now, sometimes we need a little support, and usually it's good to go multi-directionally.
Sure.
But I find that it's much harder to quit an addiction if you're only working outside in. It's why AA has meditation as like step 2 or something.
Yeah.
It's why every coach would be very smart to incorporate meditation as a foundational training, because coaching is like the software upgrade. Meditation is the hardware upgrade. And it's very challenging to insert a new software on an outdated computer that hasn't been defragged in 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, that's so good. I like how you talk about like meditation as a training versus like, I don't want to, I just feel like today it's like, do this habit. Everything's like, do this, like line up your list of habits and like do these every day, where you talk about it in a way where it's like, it's a training. It's like, you want to get bigger biceps, you go train that muscle, right? So talk to me about that a little bit more, because I really appreciate the way that you frame that. And I feel like more people need to hear it in this way versus like, just like the mainstream of 2026 and beyond.
Yeah, so when a lot of people hear the term meditation, they think of an app. Okay, well, let me get on this free app and I'll have someone guide me through. Kind of like what you did today with the guided visualization that I offered, which I'm sure, I hope was great, but I actually wouldn't call what you did this morning a meditation. And I am in the minority here. I am admittedly a meditation snob. I have a very narrow definition of what meditation is. And it is accessing a verifiable fourth state of consciousness, which is different than waking, sleeping, or dreaming. And in that state, the right and left hemisphere of the brain are functioning in unison, and your body is de-exciting. You're getting rest that's 5 times deeper than sleep. So that is how I define meditation. And in order to do that, I have to train people. In order for people to get to that state regularly and in a self-sufficient and repeatable way, they have to go through a training. I would love to be able to just like wave a magic wand and be like, here, go. And I'm working on it. Like I'm now with AI, like I have some ideas of how I'm going to partner with AI to be able to really give like the good stuff, to give the deep transmissions in a way that can scale. Because, AI can do things that my human brain could never do. It can individualize things in a way that I never could before. So it's very exciting to know that we can get these sort of ancient, really profound tools out in a way that is safe to more people. But to bring it back to your original question, most people, when they hear meditation, they think like headspace, calm, let me play this YouTube video and someone's going to tell me to think about my thoughts like clouds, think about a waterfall, and imagine my chakras. And those are all great, but I would call those guided visualizations. And anytime your left brain is directing towards something, including a thought, a cloud, a chakra, or a color, that is still thinking. Now the guided visualization is thinking for you, and you're thinking about more blissful or enjoyable or relaxing thoughts, but you're still in your left brain realm of thinking. What I teach at Ziva is a tool to help you to transcend the realm of thinking and to access the realm of pure being. You access the unmanifest. You access the bliss field. You're accessing source code itself, pure potentiality. By the way, that is what Joe Dispenza spends about the first 45 minutes of every single one of his quote unquote meditations accessing. He spends about 45 minutes trying to get people into that field. I can do that in 30 seconds with Ziva. And this is not meant to be disrespectful to Joe's work. He is an extraordinary mystic, and I am so grateful for his work. I am in no way diminishing his work. I would love to partner with him because I feel like I could get people into that state very quickly and very pleasurably. And then from there, people would be so well supported to do his manifestation mastery. And I actually recommend this to my Ziva graduates when they're like, hey, I want to do these Joe things. I'm like, great, do them. They're awesome. Start with Ziva. Use the Ziva meditation, get into this unmanifest, get into the correct brain state for manifestation, and then do it from there. Now, I do teach manifesting at Ziva as well, but we, in the beginner trainings and the level 1 trainings, it's just 2 minutes. In the level 2 trainings, which is embodied manifesting, you start to learn a lot of manifesting tools, but all of that is predicated by you getting into the appropriate brain state to be in the fertile soil for the manifestations. So all of that to say is that what I teach is our most popular training at Ziva is like a 15-day matriculation. So it's not 15 days of guided experiences. It's day 1, day 2, day 3. Each training builds upon the previous day. And by the time you graduate, you have a skill now. You have a skill of being able to access the unmanifest, the bliss field. And you could do that on a plane, on a bus, on the subway, in Uber.
That's
with
important.
Your kids yelling in the other room. You don't need YouTube. You don't need Wi-Fi. You don't need your phone to be charged.
Yeah, that's important. Where are we directing people to access this? So zivameditation.com, is that accurate?
Yep. And if they want to like go a little bit deeper on the neuroscience of why this style of meditation is so powerful, they can go to zivameditation.com/podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Let's plug the pod.
There's a free masterclass there that goes into like the neuroscience of this.
I love that.
And then, or people can also, if they want, I can gift them the first 3 days of the training, if that would be interesting.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah. So they can just go to zivameditation.com/preview.
Love that.
Yeah, and then they can try out Ziva Online, which is this training I'm talking about, and it'll give them like kind of the background on neuroscience and some tools to just get out of fight or flight. And then if they want to continue on to have the skill of meditation, then they'll have it. And then I think that's the most beautiful foundation to manifest a life that you really love.
I'm so excited that we're able to do that. That's incredible. We're going to make sure that stuff is in the show notes, plus the podcast. And I know you're doing something with kids now too.
Oh yeah.
I saw that. That's awesome.
Actually, I'm so proud of this. My son, who's in second grade, his second grade teacher is doing Ziva Kids with his class. And this was my COVID project. I created a kids meditation training called Ziva Kids. We work with Sesame Street and Harvard Child Psychologist. So I have a bunny. His name is Z
cool.
Bunny. He's my co-star. And it teaches kids, the age range is 4 to 14. So there's 2 separate trainings there. But kids are learning mindfulness, meditation, and manifesting. And they're like shaking out their stormies and learning breathing techniques. And it's really
so important.
Fun and entertaining. I have like this is where my Broadway training comes in, because I'm making it as entertaining as I can for something that's kind of boring for 8-year-olds.
I love that. I mean, you said second grade. I remember second grade, I stuck a crayon up my nose. That's like where my mind went right away. One of my first memories.
It hurt?
No, but my mom didn't believe me that I did it, and I blew it out when I got home after school.
Wait, all the way up, and it stayed?
It stayed up here the entire day, and I blew it out. Other side of the nostril closed once I got home. You made me think of that because you said second grade.
Was it?
Don't remember that.
Have we checked with an ENT? Do we have any damage
We
happening?
never have. But what's your first memory? Like
my first memory of my whole life?
Your whole life.
Oh, this is so sad to say, but it was a Penguin commercial. It was a TV. It was a black and white TV, and it was a Coca-Cola commercial with penguins. And I was like 3.
Why is that sad?
Just because I hate that there was like a soda commercial as my first imprint in my consciousness.
Coca-Cola, they did good marketing.
They had great marketing. But, it wasn't like, frolicking at a picnic with my family or like with nature.
How old were you?
I think 3.
3. It's always so interesting. Like I don't ask that question often, but I'm always really interested to like know what people remember. Like I can go back further than second grade, but it's like, why do we remember the things that we remember?
Well, around 7 or 8 is when the prefrontal cortex starts to come online, and we move out of theta state, which is more like dreamy, and we start to move more into alpha state. So that's why most people start to remember around 7 or 8.
Yeah. Do you ever look at a picture and be able to go back to that picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a picture of little Emily on my phone as my screensaver. Do you?
Oh, wait, I don't know if you could see. Can you see it or no?
Yeah. How old are you there?
Second grade, my communion.
So religion's been a really big part of your life.
I mean, I went to Catholic school my whole life.
Okay.
I do have, like, up until college was public, but, I mean, I went to Catholic school, but it's like, how much was it really a part of my life other than the fact that I was like studying religion?
So when I talk about all this stuff of like Mary Magdalene and the feminine, like, is there a reaction in you?
I mean, I've definitely expanded my views beyond Catholicism, like tremendously so. Although, like, I still enjoy going to church. The very rare occasion I do go.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to community and singing and
the singing makes me cry. Like the minute we start singing, I'm in like full blown tears. Like I just think it's so freaking beautiful. I think the churches are beautiful. Like all of it. I think it's incredible. I also think that there's a part of it that's not talked about often enough, and how like it became a business, right? The church is a business, and I understand like they need to make money, keep the doors open, get people paid, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's definitely expanded tremendously beyond just like what I learned. I actually started reading the Bible.
Which version?
Well, I'm in the New Testament of...
Or like the King James Bible.
Yes, exactly.
So I just think just to name that, it's really important that people, because if we think like, oh, it's the Bible, and it's like, well, nope, that's a version of the Bible that was created by a king and a pope, that there's lots of other versions of the Bible, translations of the Bible, the Aramaic one, the Greek one, the Gospels that were removed, Thomas, Mary Magdalene. So I just invite people, if they're going to go to the source text, to really expand and find like all of the source text and read as close to the original translations as possible.
Yeah. I find it interesting because what I read, I'm just like, part of it, I honestly felt like God didn't like us at times.
But we are God, and God is us. So how could God not like itself?
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Like I love conversations like this. Like I really, really do. It gets me like so jazzed up. Because
why do you think God didn't like humans?
One of the first things that I read was going back to the Garden of Eden. And it just felt like the decisions that were made from there on, it felt like God was just so upset with the decisions that were made, going against what he said, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't remember exact context and I don't want to be quoted for it, but it just felt like things were like super dark. Mm-hmm. Like dark in the sense that he just wasn't happy with the human creation. Mm-hmm. And where I was reading, I was like, you know what? That doesn't like feel good.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel good to like read that.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm 33 now. So like
Jesus here.
Reading this in the 33rd year of my life, when I went to church and learned theology and all of these things, studied Latin, and to like get to a point where it's like, wait, I never thought that God didn't like us or any of that stuff until now. It's just like mind blowing.
You open to a reframe of that Garden of Eden?
Go for it.
So what if the Garden of Eden is actually a parable for planetary paradise? And what if the Garden of Eden is available to us right here, right now?
What does that mean?
Meaning that, like, what does the Garden of Eden represent? It's paradise.
Yeah.
Right? And what if paradise is available to us right here, right now? And it's available by unioning the masculine and feminine inside of ourselves, like the Adam and Eve. And if you look at the human brain, there's the pineal and the pituitary gland.
Yeah.
Pineal is very phallic. The pituitary is very womb-like. So there is inside of our human biology this masculine and feminine union. And if you look at the American Medical Association, the caduceus, it's a sword with two snakes going up the sword. And what does that represent? The spine, and it's actually Kundalini energy. Snake, in ancient, predating Christianity and Catholicism, snakes are represented as Kundalini Ma. And Kundalini is just pure life force that is available, that sits in the cerebral spinal fluid at the base of our spine. And when we wake up, that cerebral spinal fluid, and when it gets released into the brain, into the pineal and the pituitary, the masculine and the feminine, and it secretes something that is the precursor to DMT, and DMT is the God particle. So God is not a dude outside of here who's angry with his creation of humans because we sinned. God is inside of us, and we can access our own divinity by tuning into and amplifying our own bliss, pleasure, and life force, and turning up the dial of our own divinity.
That's so good.
And the snake was not a temptation. The snake is representative of that life force. And if we work with it, we create paradise. Yeah. If we judge it as bad, we create planetary hell.
Yeah. I like I said, I love conversations like this because it's just like, it forces you, and even if you listen to a podcast, watch a podcast, whatever it is, it just like forces you in a good way to see beyond what you were taught and what you know. Right? Like I'm sitting here as a student right now and I'm just like, I have a full notebook. Like literally a full notebook.
So what have you learned? Like, what are your takeaways? What has shifted, or what has created new curiosities for you?
From this conversation? I mean, the first one is, so I struggle with consistency when it comes to meditation.
Have you ever trained?
No.
That's your only issue. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, I've heard you say something like
this.
Your
stress is not special.
Yeah.
You are not busier than Oprah. There's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't been trained yet. It's a skill.
Yeah.
Would you like, and my analogy that I use is like, no one would expect themselves to do a 21-day Japanese challenge if they had never been trained in the language of Japanese.
Right.
You wouldn't do a 21-day tap dancing challenge if you had never learned tap dancing.
Yeah.
And yet this is what everyone's doing. They're like, well, I can't meditate because my brain is too busy and I have a problem with consistency. It's like, no, bro, you just haven't been trained.
Yeah.
And guess what? I just gifted everybody the first 3 days, and I'll gift you the whole training. I just want you to do it.
Yeah.
And then it's 15 days, then maybe record the intro to this after you do the training and then see if you have an issue with consistency.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I start things I know that you're friends with Gary Lynham as well, Human Garage.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I actually never met Gary. I met Jason and his wife.
Okay, cool. So like even things like that, like I do them for a week and then I stop. I feel great for a week and then I stop, and it just makes me think. It's like, well, am I so comfortable with the chaos, or am I so comfortable with stress that when I'm not stressed for a week, I opt back for it?
I mean, I think there's something to microdosing chaos. I absolutely think that the nervous system and our psyches feel safe in familiarity, even if that familiarity is suffering.
100%.
Especially when that familiarity is suffering or trauma.
Yeah.
And so the only way out of that, so the first question is, do I want to transcend this? Do I want to evolve? And usually there needs to be a desire of something that you are lit up enough about, where you're like, I want to make $1 million. I want to marry this woman. I want, like, whatever your want is, that desire usually has to be strong enough to create some sort of a change in the behavior. And then the question is, all right, well, what am I willing to surrender in order to receive, or to change my state of vibration, or change my state of consciousness so that I become an energetic match for this thing. And so that becomes the question of like, am I getting more existential kink? Am I getting more turn on from microdosing the chaos? Or would I get more pleasure from actually having the thing that I desire? And I can't answer that for anyone.
Yeah.
But if you desire to be in a higher state of consciousness where you're just like in flow, in gratitude, in pleasure, life is just like, yes, then this is the fastest path I've ever found to do that.
So let me ask you this question in regards to change, right? Because like you're saying, like, hey, like you need to be committed to like making that change.
I think you just need to be committed to doing the training.
Okay.
Look, every hammer finds a nail.
Yeah.
But I've taught 250,000 people to meditate at this point.
Which is amazing.
I've got a lot of anecdotal evidence here.
Yeah.
That like if you just do the training, then you will actually look forward to the meditation, and it won't become discipline anymore. It'll be like eating chocolate cake. You're like, oh, I want to meditate because it feels really good, and then my whole life is better on the other side. So I would just, once you start the training, I invite you to let go of any ideas of how hard you think meditation is, or that you even have to be disciplined in order to do it, because you're actually going to look forward to it. And more importantly than that, you're going to see a return on investment of the most important resource you have, which is your time.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you got me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, right? And everyone else should too. I'm going to make sure that all of that stuff is in the show notes. I do have a couple more questions for you. Otherwise, I'm going to keep you here all day. First, socials. Where are we driving people to?
Oh, at Ziva Meditation, Ziva on social. I have a personal one as well, but it's mostly just...
You don't use it though. I feel like I don't see you use it. I'm following you.
Yeah, it's mostly just like, it was my son when he was a baby, but now I don't really want to post my son.
Yeah, I get that.
Because he's 7.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not super active on my personal, so at Ziva Meditation is the best one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on social. And then actually, our YouTube is really blowing up right now.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the YouTube videos recently. Okay, cool. We're going to make sure that we do that.
Thank you.
Curveball, I guess, to an extent, not intentionally. What's a question you wish more people would ask you?
Oof.
And how would you answer it?
Something around the role of sacred sexuality in like birthing the new earth.
What does that mean?
It's a little hot button topic right now, but it always is a hot button topic. But I think because of the outrageous creative potential of what I call creation energy, right? Like I call pleasure creation energy, because it's just, that's all it is. It's just pure creation energy. It can create a baby, it can create a company, it can create a book.
Yeah.
You can it can create an album. You can do whatever you want with creation energy. It is neutral, but it is potent. And so if we abuse it,
It does. I mean, I would say it gets abused more than it does.
1,000,000% because it has been shamed, because we've been taught of this idea of original sin, because it was like, oh, Eve ate the apple, she sinned, and then we got removed from paradise. So all of our human, fleshy pleasure desires are associated with the devil. It's like, by the way, the devil doesn't even exist. They turned Pan, the church turned Pan, which is the Greek god of revelry and merriment and wine and pleasure. They turned Pan into Satan because the pagans wouldn't give him up. He was their most beloved because he was the most fun.
Yeah.
And so if we make our desires, which I believe are divinely inspired, if we make those bad and wrong and shameful, then we have one of the most potent creation energies available in the universe that is neutral. But because it gets sublimated, because it gets shamed, it comes out in very perverted, destructive, and abusive ways. And that is what we are seeing on 11 right now.
Yeah.
And most people's introduction to sexuality is through porn. And then they're taught to, then it feels bad and it feels shameful and it feels wrong. And we're never taught about the profundity of it. We're never taught about the healing potentiality of it. We're never taught about the sacredness of it. We're never taught how to revere it.
Yeah.
We're never taught how to actually like be in reverence to our partner, to worship the divine through our partner or through ourselves. And so to me, we could do a whole nother podcast on like the power and just like the importance of teaching sacred sexuality to our teenagers and young adults.
Yeah.
But what I'm really interested in right now is like, how do we harness this neutral force that is the most magnetic and creative force on the planet to help us to do the Reese Witherspoon plan, to birth the new civilization?
Yeah.
Because I think that it is necessary. It is part of the ancient technologies. It's part of what they were working with to usher humans into, I mean, if you look at a brain scan of someone meditating, dopamine, serotonin, coherence.
Yeah.
It's like a brain on mushrooms. You look at a brain of someone orgasming, it's a whole new deal.
Yeah.
Whole new brain, lots more norepinephrine. Yes, dopamine. Yes, serotonin, but also oxytocin, the love hormone. So if you start to channel and harness that force to create, yes, you can use it to manifest. Like that's what I teach in Ziva Magic, is using pleasure to pray, using creation energy to create a life that you love. So we can do that for ourselves individually. But what happens when we start to harness this collectively? And I get that we're, potentially a lot of steps away from that because people are so scared of it and because it has been so abused.
Yeah.
That there gets to be a reclamation and a healing and a transmutation of starting to use that force for creation and creating heaven on earth.
I could tell you're passionate about it.
Yeah, well, because it's like, I think if we don't start using it, we're going to drive the bus off the cliff.
Yeah, yeah.
And the good news is if we do start using it, we could actually create planetary paradise, like very quickly.
There you go. What if the bus needs to be driven off the cliff, though?
Well, look, I mean, that's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening now. Like we're watching in real time. Oh, every organization that we put our trust in, banking, Supreme Court, executive office, media, that like, oh wait, they're actually pedophiles. And I'm not even using that term hyperbolically. That's just from like what has been said under oath in the Department of Justice documents for decades.
Yeah.
If that is true, and just to prove the point that is actually a siphoning and a robbing of this exact force that I'm talking about. It's a desecration of one of the most holy things, which is innocence and pleasure. So we're watching as those systems are crumbling. And so the thing is, again, the force itself is neutral. But look, it's been fueling these systems built in unsustainable and destructive and abusive ways.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in how do we heal from this, learn from this, and create leaders plugged into their own sovereignty, which is, by the way, what the priestesses do.
Yeah.
We coronate the kings by having them answer to that which cannot be named. Not their own greed, not their own fear, not their own power, but actually being in service of creation itself.
Yeah.
That's the role of the priestess. That's the role of the divine feminine. And that's why I'm taking people to Greece. Because it was the oracles who were doing that. And so I'm not like, oh, all the leaders need to be female. all the leaders need to be balanced.
Be in balance.
Either inside of themselves or with the council.
Yeah. See, this is why I'm going to keep you here all day. Now you're leading me to ask you this. Do you have to leave? What time do you have to go?
I think I have an appointment at 3. I think I
3 p.m. Oh, I need to get you out of here.
But it's like it's flexy. I'm just doing my own podcast stuff. So
You sure?
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Okay, cool. I'll end it on one last question. Otherwise, it's almost
this is my favorite. I'm a projector in human design with an open throat. Being asked questions is my most favorite thing, and I feel like you are not afraid of how woo and witchy I'm getting. I might get,
No, I'm open to it. I'm always open to it. Mm-hmm. But if I were to ask you this one last question, Emily makes it to whatever year she wants to make it to. You bring up this new revolutionary leader phase, whatever we want to refer to it as, like you impact as many people as you want, but we could only remember Emily for one piece of advice. It's like, what's that piece of advice you want to be remembered for?
I'll say that the present moment is the future in the making. And so how can you infuse this present moment with as much beauty, bliss, and pleasure as possible?
Why is that what you want to be remembered for?
Because it's simple. And I think the profundity is in the simplicity. And I think that and everyone can do it right now.
Yeah.
Right now, if you can get so present in this moment, can you see as much beauty as possible? Because guess what? I have God sitting in front of me. So can I see the beauty inside of you? And can I spread as much beauty through my own energy, through my own words, through my own teaching? Can I know and remember that the better I feel, the higher quality things, not only do I attract, but the higher quality seeds I am planting for the future. It's something that we can do right here, right now, and it changes everything.
I love that. Mic drop. Emily Fletcher, everyone. Emily Fletcher, everyone. No, seriously, this was incredible. We will make sure that the preview is in the show notes, in the description, socials, YouTube's, podcasts, all of the things.
Amazing. Thank you for your curiosity. Thank you for your open heart. And thank you for your presence. I really felt you here with me.
Super grateful. Thank you.